Hey guys. Well, it's been a while it's been about a week, maybe week and a half, since I have done any other tutorials, and I'm sorry about that, but I've just been too busy with school. So for this tutorial, what we are going to do is we are going to we're going to develop a little software. It's going to be console based, and we're going to be using our list that we just created. And what we're going to be doing, we're going to have a main menu, and we're going to have several things that we can do in this menu or in this program. The first thing is that um, we want to store names. So let's say program that stores names. And so the first thing we want to do is we are going to want to insert a name. The second thing we want to do is we want to be able to, let's say, delete a name. Third thing we want to be able to do is search list and see if we can if a certain name exists. Then we want to be able to print list, and lastly, just exit the program. Okay? So this is going to be our little program. Now notice that in our node class, we take in integer as our data. Now we could, put another variable for our data so we can have multiple data. So we don't just have to have just one. But what I want to do is just have one, and it's going to be a string. And what I want to show you guys today is how to implement a template. And a template allows you to have the data type of whatever you're trying to store to be dynamic. So let's say we want several lists, and we only want to use one class. We have several lists that we want, and we have one list that stores integers, another list that might store strings, another list that might store other objects or whatever. So in our case, since our class is it's not templated, we will have to create new classes for all of these, and new everything pretty much. So what we want to do here is say template, and in order for this to work, we can only use templates in the header file. So everything, the implementation and the declaration, has to be in the same file. So what we can do is just copy all of this, or cut it since we will only have one, and just paste it right there. And we don't need that. So all of our implementations are going to go in here. Ta-da! Okay. So instead of saying here int, we are going to say t, and This one has to be that, as well as all of these. Let's copy that. Let's say T right there. Let's return T here. We are returning a node template. We are putting that there, and I believe that should be it. So now, actually, wait, cout ostream. Since we are using cout, we're gonna have to include that and use our namespace std. So we can close that one, and for this one we want to do the same thing. This can be integer because it's just the size. Oh, I forgot to do this. We are going to get all of this, cut it, paste it here, and delete all of the scopes because it's inside of our class already. Okay, so we need T's for these. Oh, not T-node, T-node. Or, damn it. Okay, that one there. This one there. Now for this one, we could just return the T if you want. I'm going to just return a pointer to our node so we can get everything else because I want to. But you guys can do it however you want. And so the reason why they both have it is because we are using only the list here. We're not really using the template. So we're gonna tell the list what data type we want to pass into the template, and then the list is gonna tell the node what kind of data type we want to be using. That's why we need it in both sides or both classes. And since we're doing this, we could just have the node class inside of this, but then we would have a lot of code in here. So I'm gonna separate it into different files. And that should be it. So now we have the ability to um, create any list with whatever whatever data type we want. So we want a string, and here we're going to pass in string, and we have to pass it here as well. So now we have successfully created a list that contains strings. Now, in order for us to be able to do this in a main menu, we're going to need an enumerator for our states. And I'm going to call this, say, menu state. And inside of these, we're going to be saying the first one is going to be main, or all capitals. Now, this is optional. I'm going to make sure that main starts at 0. I think it automatically does. And you can put any number here, like let's say you just want this state to start at 10 and then increase for every enumeration that you want. Let's say insert, delete, search, print, and exit. So as you can see, this one says insert is 11, 12, 13. So you can specify from what integer you want to start. But we're going to start, or I am going to start at 0. So let's see. We are also going to need a boolean to check if the application is running, and we're gonna let's start at true. So we're also going to need, well, we can put it in here, a menu state to check our current state. And our current state is going to start in our main menu. So we say main. And then this will be the loop for our main program. And we're going to be checking if we are running. Then we are going to process our input. So let's see, let's do a switch statement and check our current states. So if we are in main, we are going to do one thing. Let's copy that. So we got 5 states. We got 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see. Insert. Let's do delete, search, print, and I think we forgot one. Yep. Exit. Now we don't really need a default since there's no way that um, this state can be anything other than these, but you can put it there for safety reasons because you never know, something might go wrong and you might end up with something that is not any of these states. But I'm gonna take it out. You know what? Now let's just put it in there just for precaution. Okay, so let's do some functions for our menu. And all of the other stuff. Menu, insert, delete, search, print, and one more, exit. It's always good to separate your code in sections, so it is easier to manage your code, and it's more readable that way, so not everything is bunched up. And you can also create a class for this. But if you guys want to make a class and see if you guys can actually do that, then you guys can go ahead. I am going to do this. So then we call main. Oh, wait, menu, not main. Menu. Insert here. Delete. Ah. Search. Print. Exit. So let's start with our exit. So the only thing that is going to happen in exit is that we're going to say is running equals false. And you can alternatively print out a message to the user. So let's do saying thank you for using our program or something like that. So cout thank you for using this program. And press any key to continue. Now I know that we before we've done pause, and there's a couple of things that why you shouldn't use pause, system pause. One is because if you're trying to make a program that is Cross-platform, you will not be able to do that because I believe it is part of Windows. And it also uses a lot of resources. I mean, it doesn't really matter if we use it here, since it's going to be a really small program, but it's always to do things the better way. So actually what we want to do here is, let's do a temp, just an integer temp. Yeah, just an integer. Zero. And just call scene right here. Or we can just use a car, just in case they try to put something else in. And that'll be it for that. Now here, our menu. Let's print out the main menu. And we are going to say, first line is going to be, that's backslash tab is, T is tabbing. It skips a couple spaces on your console. And let's print out the, I don't know, let's say, I don't know, name list program. You can name some, make it better, but I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. Now we can do our, well, we can actually, let's do another space, tab, and we are going to ask the person, what would you like to do? And then we are going to tab in and say insert name. We can copy that. Actually, we need that there. Paste, insert, delete, search, print, exit. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Insert name, delete name, search name, print list, not name, and exit. And this one will be an integer, and we'll just name it I choice. And we're going to give it this. So we're going to be getting here the input from the user, and we're going to check to see if they pressed any of these. So we're going to do another switch statement. Switch. And we're going to pass in choice. And from here, we can do case 1, case 2, but since we have these as 1, 2, 3, and so on, we can just copy this and paste it there. tab it. And here we do not want to do this. The only thing that we will be doing here is setting our state. So current state, no, oh, I know why. Because it's not global. So we can cut it. Just put it up here. Now I can use it. Current state equals menu state insert. Oh. Now we copy this, paste, 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 and paste. It's kind of careful when you're pasting, copying and pasting code, because you might forget to change some stuff. In this case, we won't really have that problem because it's only one line of code. But if you're pasting a lot of functions, make sure you go over it again, so you can make, so you make sure you're not doing something you're not supposed to, I guess, in it. So now we change our state. So from here, we're gonna go to our insert function, and so on and so forth. So now what we want to do is we want to work on our insert function. So here, oops, cout, damn it, again. And here we're just gonna tell the user what to do, pretty much. So, and we can also have a little menu title, insert. So here, we're gonna say, please enter a name to add to the list. And then we're going to make a string here. String, we're going to call it temp name. Make sure you initialize it. And then we are going to get the input from the user. Okay. And then we're going to check. One, we're going to check to see if it's not empty. And check if string is greater than or equal to, let's say, 2 characters. Wait, If it's not empty and it's greater or equal to that, we'll do something here. Let's say, so we're going to get our list, and we are going to, oh, pointer. We are going to insert it. Temp name. Hold on a bit. We're getting an error. So I'm going to just remove this, delete it, and remove this, and delete it. Then I'm going to go in here and make sure that our insert function, we never changed this to T. And which one else? Find is also not set to T. Okay, that should be good. T. Okay. There's another thing I want to change here. Since we already have a print function in our node class, we can just say temp pointer display. And that's it for that. Now we can actually insert the name. And if it's not greater than 2, and if it is empty, then we are going to say, sorry, name is not valid. Please make sure it is greater than 2 characters long. Say 2 or more characters long. Okay, and then we will just do the same thing that we did down here. So since we do not, well, let's make our pause function. Pause. And pause. Copy all this. Just that. Cut that. Do that. Paste that there. Do that. Okay. Insert this in here to pause. And here as well, pause. Okay. And after we are done, well, and actually return here, since we do not want to do this, we'll give them another chance to go over and insert a new thing. Otherwise, we are going to set our current state to our menu. Okay, so here we are. Now let's check and see if it works. Let's run it real quick. Okay, so we get the title of the program, and it says, what would you like to do? Insert name, delete, search, print, or exit. We say, oh, let's insert name. Okay, what do you want? Oh, actually, yeah, enter a name. So let's say we do not enter a valid name. So let's say we just say S. Sorry, name is not valid. Please make sure it is 2 or more characters long. Press any key to continue. Okay. So then we go back here. Now let's just say George, and boom, we go back to the main menu. Now we do not have a way to print it, so we're just gonna exit right now. And it says, thank you for using this program. Press any key to continue. Oh, gotta insert something there. There's only one thing missing that I forgot to add, and that is, since we created, we allocated memory for our list, we gotta delete it. Otherwise, there's gonna be very, very, very bad problems with memory issues if we do not. So if list, then delete list. Remember, you always want to check first to see if it's not null before deleting. Otherwise, you're going to get memory access violation error if it's not null. That's why you would always want to initialize it, either allocating it or as a null string, or null pointer. Otherwise, you're gonna get errors. Okay, so that's that. Now let's do the print function. That one should be pretty easy. Now let's do cout, and let's say printing name list. Dun, dun. Oh. And then we're gonna say list arrow print, and then we're gonna say pause, and after pause we want to go back to the menu. Menu state main. Damn it. Okay. So let's do that. Let's not run it again yet. Just let's be able to delete something. So for deleting, we're gonna have to, actually what we should be doing, since we'll do it like this for now, but what we should be doing is that every time we insert and delete something, we want to make everything uppercase, or lowercase, depending on what we want to do, just in case, so that they don't have to get the name exactly as, exactly as they wrote it before, because they might not remember. But they can also print it and see if it's, how it's spelled. But it's a better way to just keep everything capitalized or not, just so it's easier on the user. But we can do that later. Right now, we just want to get this thing going. There's always room for improvement later on once you get everything set up. So here we just want to delete. So let's just do this. Copy that. Just put it there. Instead of insert, it's going to be delete. And please enter a name to delete from the list. And what we could do is once we actually need this too. Once we delete something, or once we get a name from the user, we can actually use our find function. But since it does that automatically, doesn't matter. But actually, we could use the find function to see if it exists. So let's do that. Let's say if we're gonna create a node of string and just call it temp. If list arrow wait, this is equals find temp. What is this? Oh wait, temp name, and we'll just say this. Boom. There we go. Now we get the name. So if temp, meaning if it's not empty, then we are going to do list remove at, we can say either temp get data or pass in temp name, whichever way you want to do it. Else we want to say sorry, name was not found. Sorry. Name specified was not found in list. And this way, yeah. So we'll display an error. We'll pause the program, let them read it, and get out of the function. Now we do not have to delete this one because this returns a pointer that's in the list. So all we want to do is read it. Here we should really be returning a constant, so we cannot modify it outside of the list, because that would be very bad. So let's do that. Let's go to find, we'll say constant. Okay, once it finds it, it will delete it. And if it does delete it, we want to do this. We want to say temp get data was successfully removed from list. So just like that. Here, for formatting purposes, we want to create a new line. Bum, 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 bum. Here we do not want to return, because at the end over here, we're going to set the state, menu state, to main again. Okay, so now let's try it out. See if it works. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to insert. Yeah. So yeah, since I was typing something that was over the, we could change that later. Again, no, don't do it again. Okay, 1. So we want to insert George. 2. Okay, so we can actually print it now. So as you can see, the print name list reads George. That's the only thing we have there. So now let's insert another one. Let's insert Nathan. Yeah. Let's insert Nathan into the list. We don't want to quit yet. Let's print it. So now we got George and Nathan in the list. Damn it. Yeah, we got a couple bugs. So let's do this again. Okay, now that we have Nathan and George in the list, we want to delete it. Delete 1. Let's delete George. Oh, what happened here? Break. I bet you it is when we are trying to use this guy. So let's do that. Let's break right there. So 1 George. Let's do delete. George. So now let's check this out. Temp name is George. And list we got George in there. That's about it. And then here we have George. It is not empty. So here we return it. Okay. Not return it. So let's actually step into this. So we get data. Which is George. Okay, let me pause this.